Ready?
Hello and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast. You're listening to episode 22-5, and we are your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
Every week we listen to great video game music from all consoles and all generations, and this week is more of the same. More great music for you.
Well, unless you don't think it's great music, in which case, tell us, Agassi, don't tell us why. I don't know if my heart can take it.
Your heart can take it.
I don't think it can handle it. It couldn't handle that hit of Pernell, not to be the bearer of bad news, but you guys have crap taste in music. Like, no, our taste in music is adequate at best. Come on, give us some credit here, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people have their opinions on some of the music that we play, but I am okay with that, to be honest with you. I gotta say, our last episode was our Patreon episode was so good, especially music wise, and then the episode before that with Chris Baines was fantastic music.
I think we can keep that train rolling.
I think so too. Again, so this week, Pernell and I are in different locations. We usually record right across from each other. Closer than 6 feet, sometimes very close to each other, but not today, not last week, and not for a little while, and that's okay.
Because we learned from the Patreon episode that apparently recording like this, we don't miss a beat.
We don't miss
it.
Yeah.
You would think.
It's a thing.
What are you doing? That was your fault. He did that intentionally, folks. The actuality of this whole thing is that we actually don't trip over each other. There's no weird audio lag that we were afraid would occur. And thanks to Skype camera, basically, you can still do goofy facial expressions.
No,
and stuff.
you can't, because you still haven't put a lamp in your room. And so all I see is the shadow figure of your face. Your glass is sort of outlined.
Well, I mean, let's be real. The shadow knows how to make cool facial expressions. You just got to imagine that the shadow is making said expressions. And everyone's a winner.
I feel like I'm in an episode of X-Files, and you're trying to I've Skyped you for government secrets.
Mulder, what are you doing? I sent you on the case about the wing of Appaloosa, and yet you're investigating aliens again? Get back on track now!
Oh man.
Oh my god.
All right, so this week's episode...
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I gotta do this first because the coincidence is really good, and I want to make sure that this due is given prior to us announcing the topic.
Yeah.
So, yesterday, I actually got a Patreon episode topic suggestion from one of the Patreon members. I want to read it off real quick, and then from there we'll get into the actual topic we chose for this week.
Oh.
So, the Das Dude says... Well, amidst all this craziness going on, I think that doing a full episode devoted to positive vibes would be an awesome way to spread some love and cheer to each other, And I agree. I was like, there it is. I had topic suggestions in mind, but I want to go with his. So, the Patreon episode coming up for April is going to be themed positive vibes. Again, he even mentioned you can even have the Pernell up to interpretation style added to it. So, that's there too. Positive vibes, go nuts. Choose what you want.
Yeah, this is all positive vibes today. I've been looking forward to recording today. Actually, I feel like again, I see you at least more than twice a week anyway, and I'm like, man, I haven't hung out with Pernell in a while.
Pretty much, it honestly feels that way.
It does, yeah. It just feels like I haven't really hung out with anybody. So I've been really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to this face-to-face Pernell. You feel me? You get me?
Digital face to digital face.
Digital face to digital man in a dark room.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to let you up on this.
Face to dark blorb.
Oh.
But so the episode topic today, as it was kind of given away by what the Patreon episode topic is, it's also a similar concept. Our topic was titled, what do we agree with? Was it Sunshine Fun Time?
Yeah,
or
it was going to be Blue Sky Games Part 2 or Optimism, the podcast.
So yeah, all these different, we have tons of names for it, but at the end of the day, it's all about smiles and such.
Yeah, smiles and such.
tracks that make you feel kind of good, like orange juice.
Yeah, there's so much online, and there's so much on podcasts right now that are not challenging, but it's like you know things are difficult. Everyone's having their own struggles. You don't want to hear more about it. So let's listen to some good tunes. Let's talk about some good times.
Unless those struggles are in La Mulana too. Let me tell you something.
It's good to have challenges, video game challenges. I've been having a lot of video game challenges with the new game, or the newer game, Control. And I'm getting there. I'm getting better.
Soon you will have total control.
Everything's fun until I'm in a boss fight, and then it's just like I throw my controller out the door, and I'm like, come on.
Do you just like panic and just throw boxes all over the screen? Like,
I thought that's what you're supposed to do. I thought that's what the game is all about.
There's like games, but you usually aim at dudes. Like, I've played games where I get into a panic and you just start shooting your gun wherever, and you hope a bullet might land. Yeah, I do that with Doom.
That's the Rob Nichols school of video games. You panic and spin around shooting your gun.
Like, something's gonna get hit. Something's getting hit here.
No, there's the button that calls like debris or like whatever, and like you can throw it. Like you can throw things. You can pick things up from behind enemies and then release it and hit them from behind. But I don't know if I'm ever doing that because it's just a bunch of smoke and like stuff hanging in the air. You can if they shoot a missile at you, you can actually grab the missile in midair and throw it back at them. But I don't have those kinds of reflexes. It happens by accident. It's just there's so much that's like super cool when I pull it off, and I'm like,
that's part of the fun sometimes though. It's the equivalent of like when people will ask you, what are the controls to this game? And you're just like, I don't know, because you don't. You just know. I know buttons do things. It's a reflex now because you've been playing games for so long that you can't really remember. Like, I've done reviews where I say the wrong button name or action simply because I really don't know what buttons do what. I just feel what buttons do what, and I apply them.
I was trying to explain to Christy that like there's a language of video games that I just, because I haven't played a lot of shooters like ever, as I'm not really into them, I don't know the language. So when I jump into a game and it doesn't, there's tutorials and there's little tips on like what to do next, but there is a language to shooters. These games of like, you need to find cover, you need to do this, the next time you do this, you should learn to do that. And I'm like, but they don't actually tell you that because they expect you to know it.
There's a lot of twitching involved.
I don't speak that language, so I just get lost and fall down into pits over and over again, just walk right into them.
Well, one thing I'll admit that ends up happening ultimately is like it becomes almost intuitive. And what I mean by that is like, so as people generally know, I play practically every solid game out there, at least in some really capacity.
When you said you were playing Doom, I was like, whoa, wow, you're getting into some hardcore stuff, like actual like shooty.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, like I don't typically play FPS games, so that's probably one of my weakest genres of game to play. Didn't stop me from putting on like freaking one difficulty below the hardest one in the game though.
Hurt me
and plenty. Immediately things were killing me in like 3 hits, and I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do? So like what ends up happening is you get into a room and monsters start flooding it, and like without having a genuine like understanding of like this is pro Doom gameplay. My thing was, okay, bullets are hitting me. I have to stop the bullets from hitting me, which immediately leads to 2 things you can do: run for cover or run away. That's just something you naturally decide to do. So at that point, you're like, okay, look for something. And after enough of that, you start to realize, okay, this looks like a place a gunfight's going to happen. Where there's some cover spots. And you start to just naturally designate plans for attack. It's just a thing you learn to do. But it comes from repetition. But I think at least with games like that, it takes less time to build it. It takes more time to build it up and do it well, though.
Yeah.
But less time to just get a grasp of that thing.
Yeah, probably for the experience that I'm asking for, like the normal person playing these types of games, they would be super annoyed at how slow it was moving. But for me, I'd be like, thank you, God. I'm so lost. I mean, was it the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming out this coming weekend, right? So it should be out by the time.
I think it's next week. It's next week because I think what happened was Square sent their copies out early. But I think the actual release is next week sometime.
Oh, okay, cool. So after this podcast is aired.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. You were saying wait this weekend. You're referring to when this episode comes out. My God jubbit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's a lot of time traveling involved.
yes, there is. We used the time travel materia to pull that maneuver.
Well, let's get started listening to some.
Wait. No,
what?
before that,
come on.
I gotta do the one thing. I have to do one thing. So, like, my game experience lately. So, this has become a thing.
Oh yeah.
That I admittedly have been looking. I'm happy this has been going because this is what I had in mind or hoped to have in mind since Rhythm and Pixels chat even happened, which is that the occasional moment where like there's like a mutual game being played and things can be discussed. So I've already liked a lot of Mulan 2 and I've been playing it, but over the last like week or so, Kung Fu Carlito and I have both been discussing the game and playing it almost in tandem. So like he's playing it over where he lives and I'm playing it in my house, separate files. But we are collaborating on experiences and pushing each other along.
Yeah.
So like I'll be driving home from work and I'll get a text from Carlito and he's like, Carlos, I just keep calling him Carlito at this point.
Yeah, no, it just,
like
just happens, right?
And he'll be like, hey, Pernell, I found the feather. And I'm like, I didn't find the feather. I gotta find the feather. So like I had plans like, oh, not anymore, though. Tonight's plans are find the feather because he's not gonna have the feather and I don't have the feather. There's something wrong with that. Also, it'll be like something like, hey, I beat this boss. I'm like, wait a minute, I fought that boss. I couldn't damage him. And he's like, trust me, you can. I'm like, well, crap. If he damaged the boss, I'm going to damage the boss. So again, it's almost like this leapfrog of competition. And then when one of us gets genuinely stuck on a puzzle, it's like, okay, the secret lies under the eagle's eye. It's like you're giving cryptic
I feel like
clues.
you played games like that with Mike Myers or someone else before, where you were just kind of not racing, but sort of like pushing each other through.
That would have been Mike, but the difference with this and what I was doing with Mike, though, is that he and I are usually straight competing. It's like, I'm going to beat this. No, you're ahead of me. No, you're ahead of me. But with this game, it's a combination of that and also assisting each other. Because again, like if you get stuck on something, like let's say I solve a puzzle, and he's like, I haven't solved that puzzle yet. Rather than go, well, good luck, sucker. It ends up being like, well, I don't want to tell him because he doesn't want the answer. But I can give him a cryptic clue. Like I got stuck on a puzzle recently that he had solved. And he goes, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it takes something that you already have, and you've had it for a really long time. I'm like, wait a minute, a really long time? And I started thinking, I started looking at my inventory, like, I have never used that this entire game, but I got it at the very beginning of the game. Sure enough, that was the thing. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then I asked him how he figured it out. He's like, I just went through the whole inventory until something worked.
It sounds like a point-and-click adventure. We're just like hitting everything, hoping it works.
Sometimes it is, because if you have the item and you try the item and it works, you're like, whoop, there it is.
That's funny. Whoops, there it is.
But like, yeah, that game has been a gem. Like, I recommend it to anybody, primarily because even though the puzzles are brutally hard at times, and sometimes just find the item and get it here, the real resolution is that there are people who've already solved the game. There are FAQs out there, so if you ever just flat out say, screw this, I quit, I just want to experience the game, you can just take a step-by-step walkthrough and just walk through the game if you really feel like it.
Day by day.
Step by step. Fresh start over in a different kind of way.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Now we can listen to the music and we're going to take the whole step-by-step jam.
Oh, I know. It's we can get back on our TGIF kick.
We'll make it better second time around.
All right, so let's start with one of your tracks, and then we'll talk about why we chose them for this topic.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Well, my first track is going to be from a game that I think I picked from once on the show, but probably only once. This comes from Wave Race 64 on the N64. The track title is Sunset Bay, and it's composed by Kazumi Totaka. All right, let's do this. Welcome back, Surfside fans. Actually, there's no surfing in this game. Anyway, welcome back.
Well, it's like this, like the surf itself, you know?
That is true.
Yeah.
No turf, but there's a bit of surf. It's great. It's a good time. Was that good time existent in? Wave Race 64, especially when you're listening to Sunset Bay, composed by Kazumi Totaka from the N64. Wave Race 64 is, I would say, the third video game I purchased on the N64 release. I think it's also the third game to get released on the N64, because that thing had a slow trickle of releases upon launch. But this game, at the time, was about jet ski racing, and though we had Jet Moto recently on the PlayStation 1, I feel like Wave Race 64 really hammered the style home of blue skies, except for when you're doing Marine Fortress. Blue skies, beautiful scenery, uplifting music, except for Marine Fortress. And best of all, just the water. The water in that game was immaculate, and it responded very well to the player based on like the level of surf that you were engaged in. It was just a great game. And the music in this stage, along with the actual environment, which involves the sun setting and the waves kind of getting a little harder as you go around your laps, because of course, you know, high tide's coming in. It's just a glorious, positive, relaxing vibe that it just provides you. Now, if you're playing a hard mode, forget positivity, relaxing. You're just stressing to get first place. But if you're just playing the game for kicks and giggles.
Now, did you know that this was a sequel to a Game Boy game?
I did not.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Called Wave Race.
Huh.
And this is Wave
Was
Race.
it a game? Random thought. Was it related to the 4-player adapter too?
Yes, it was.
Ah.
Yeah, I just looked it up because I always thought this was a port of the arcade game by, I think it was Konami, called Wave Runner.
Oh.
And that was like...
Was that the one where they had like the water, they had like the weird water jets that could hit you in the machine or something like that?
No, but it was like you sit up on top of like a jet ski that was like... It was like one of those motorcycle games where you kind of lean back and forth on it, but it shot like air at you as you raced. It's very much like Arctic Thunder and... Rush 2084, those styles of games where you're kind of looking for shortcuts and stuff like that. But I remember it very well because when I worked at an arcade in my youth, I would always hear the attract noise, Wave Runner.
Press start. That's I don't think they ever said press start. They would just say the name of the game and then you hear like a blip sound.
I had this weird nostalgia. Like at the time, I really was annoyed by every noise these games made in their attract mode because I would hear it all day long. But like now I have this crazy nostalgia for wanting to hear those noises again. Like even like the House of the Dead, like the whole like screaming and like the house of the like the whole thing. And then like there was the downstairs part of the arcade that was all ticket games. Like the rolling the ball into the cups to get tickets and the spinning wheel, and you have to stop it at the right time. But every time those things got stuck, they had these little noises that would let the technicians know to refill the tickets or fix something. And it was always like either like a ping or a bell. But for one, it was always ball jam, and we would just let it go all day long.
See, now I just want to ball jam. It's like a party. Ball jam.
Yeah.
Music is playing. And like cannons launching like basketballs across the room the whole time. Like it's part of the scene. It's fun.
I don't know. It just this type of game like really makes me thinking about my arcade days. But this song itself, it like the way you describe the stage and the way the song sounds, like they fit perfectly.
It's so good, man. Like honestly, when at some point I'm going to have to get your butt to try the N64 because people like to trash talk that system. I ain't down with it. N64 was a good machine. It had great games on it. Not as many as, say, PS1 did. I think probably more than the Saturn did. But it had enough good games to justify it still being in my closet right now.
There's some really good... There was some really, really good stuff on there. I totally believe it. The controller was a little wacky, but Nintendo's all about like taking risks and chances. But for an N64 title, the music in this is really excellent. Like I will say though, and this is to the credit of the track, it's too short. It's way too short because it's way too good to be this short.
Oh, there's a lot of that going on with that system. And the 1080 snowboarding tracks were like that too.
That's right. I remember going through that soundtrack for the drum and bass episode I did for Ed's VG Embassy podcast. Like, there's some amazing music on that game, but it's the tracks are so short. I don't know if it has to do with like the space on the cartridge,
which reminds me, since that came up, Ed, if you're listening to this episode, let's do a show together, but give me minimal prep work so we can just dive in and I don't get weirdly sidetracked. That's my problem, I sidetrack. But I want to get on there and talk shop.
I'm gonna have to like matchmake you too, play matchmaker for the podcast.
So Ed, if you could be any game genre, what would you be and why?
Yeah. What would you? Survival horror. Don't ask questions.
Never go to Ed's house again.
Never go to his house again. No, his house is real nice. It's a real nice place to hang out. His family's really friendly, and
but we didn't see the survival horror basement, so we were safe.
It's got a cool like wood panel like video gamey basement. His
no, that's his basement. I said a survival horror basement. The secret sub level.
The shed.
There you go.
The survival horror shed. His shed. Shed Wilson.
Shed Wilson of the VGM.
Right.
Oh my.
All right,
we love you, Ed.
Yeah, we love Ed. All right, so I'm going to keep this feeling going, and we're going to listen to a track from European League Soccer for the Sega Genesis, composed by Matt Furniss. This is the World Anthem, and this is on... Actually, I think it's on the Sega Mega Drive only. I don't know if it got an American release, but it had a different name in Japan. I think it was like J-League Soccer or something like that. But this is World Anthem from the Sega Genesis, composed by Matt Furniss. So good.
Brave the train.
I love that drum break. Here you go. This whole track is so good.
I'm a fan of this track. It makes me sing.
This is the World Anthem from the game European League Soccer for the Sega Mega Drive, composed by Matt Furniss. Oh, I love the way this song sounds. I love the way this song makes me feel, Pernell.
I agree. It has a good vibe to it. I want to play the game now properly. Maybe that'll be the thing I just break out at a few.
I never got into the soccer or football games because like I don't know if it's like it's sports games in general. Like a lot of the simulation style games, I'm just not good at them. I find them kind of slow. I feel like you got to be really into the sport already, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I will say, not necessarily. It depends on the game, I think. Like, I've made 2 attempts at Soccer Love over the years. First, which was successful, but I don't think it really counts all that much, is Nintendo World Cup Soccer,
okay.
which, as you know, is a Kunio-kun game. So, not quite the same. But it was still enough to say, this is soccer, and I like it. But then, on the N64... again, during the great N64 game drought, whenever there was just like one game every 3 months, FIFA Soccer 64 came out. And I was desperate for a new game, so I bought it thinking, well, maybe I'll like it. It's just an N64 game. And I actually did. My only complaint, as listeners and yourself will know from years of listening and talking to me, I hated the fact that when you played matches, there was no music. It was just the sounds of people kicking a ball around and falling on the dirt. I had time for that. I wanted sounds, dude. I wanted noise, music.
Some people like that stuff, you know.
That's why you just have the option to turn it off, not just default have no music.
But like the classic era 16-bit sports games almost always had a soundtrack. Especially the 8-bit stuff. But yeah, this. So my all my picks today are from sports games. And though you and I don't watch sports, like we're not really into it, I feel for the people who do, because there aren't any sporting, all the sports events are canceled for a while. So a lot of them are turning to esports and video games. Like there was we were watching some reality show on TV the other night, and it was and the NBA game was canceled for all of the players playing NBA 2K20 or whatever the newest one is. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
It's happening!
So I'm playing music for people to remember, yes, that's right. You can still play sports yourself outside, just you can't watch it or play with others. I
was going to say, no, you can't. You can play golf.
But there's some stuff you can do. So, I just want to be like, this is a happy time. This is a happy time where people can enjoy sports. And there's a lot of great sports music. And
the thing about it is, you can, honestly, you can definitely do, horse or something. I can still, do basketball.
Oh, yeah, you can still do that. That would be fine. Or tennis. You can do tennis. Tennis is...
So you probably could.
Yeah, you're really far apart from each other playing tennis.
So technically you could play tennis.
Yeah,
you can do that. You could play horse from different sides of the court.
Right. You can play cornhole.
No one should play cornhole at all.
Yeah.
There's a meme going around right now. There's a meme going around right now where it's top 10 things you dislike that other people typically do.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And I had to put cornhole and beer pong on mine. I'm like the worst party animal ever.
Well, back to what's good is the drum solo on this track is good. I love it.
Does it remind you of cornhole?
It reminds me of the Miami Sound Machine. It reminds me of not Gwen Stefani. Oh my God.
I was just say, why Gwen Stefani?
I know. Forget about it. I can't remember the artist.
It reminds me of Gwen, and it just stops, like some mysterious Gwen. Lord Gwen of the Cinder?
Oh, Lord. Gloria Estefan.
That has nothing to do with a Gwen.
No, it was a G, though. It was a Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine. Come on.
Their names both start with G. I'll give you that.
I love the drum breaks. I love the drum beat. I love the really fake sounding cowbell. But the snare drum is so chunky, and I think it's because it's on the Sega Genesis that it's so chunky. But I love how chunky it is. It's pronounced chunky.
God, it's crunchy. Is it crunchy?
Oh my God! No, yeah. This is the kind of music that gets stuck to the roof of your mouth.
It gets caught between your teeth, and you need to call a dentist.
Oh, so good. All right, Pernell, what's your next Blue Sky? Perfect track for your perfect day.
This track will have you calling the dentist, and then after you call the dentist, they're going to realize you had this track stuck between your teeth.
Ooh.
And it caused cavities to form. Now you need a root canal, because holy cow, this track is sweet. Anyway, that's a long jaunt, but it's actually 2 tracks that I'm picking because they're both short enough, and I was like, I want to squeeze them in because they pick the theme.
Do you just want to go back to back on these things?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to name 2 tracks. They're going to play one after another. The first one is called Yellow Panic Time from Guitar Freak's 6th mix, composed by Yoshihiko Koezuka. And then the other track is from Guitar Freak's 5th mix, and it's titled Orange Jetstream, composed by Tomosuke, but it's also got vocals done by Jeni Freeman. welcome back. You just listened to 2 songs back to back. One being Yellow Panic Time from Guitar Freak's 6th mix composed by Yoshihiko Koezuka, and the second being Orange Jetstream from Guitar Freak's 5th mix composed by TOMOSUKE and vocals by Jeni Freeman. So, fun fact about those songs. Well, first of all, the Orange Jetstream one. When this topic became the thing, Orange Jetstream immediately came to mind. It was like, gotta pick this track. This is my jam. Secondly, I haven't heard Orange Jetstream in about 15 years. About, maybe a little under, because at least since like Masterpiece Gold came up, but whatever. Point is, it's been over 10, 12 years. And when they started playing, I immediately knew all the lyrics, sung it on the fly. Then I Marco Polo'd the song to a friend who was feeling down. I sung the whole song.
Oh, that's so nice.
I was like, "You're welcome. Feel good."
That is like, oh, that is so. That you're right. That is the sweetest song ever, man. That's downright wholesome.
I used to play that track back in the day to feel better about situations like that and Yellow Panic Time. There was like a whole roster of Guitar Freaks tracks that I used to play to get my spirits boosted up, because that was when I was like really obsessed with Bimani games. And that again, like I just would have like OSTs or soundtracks set up in mind for like various situations. Like, do I want to feel action? Do I want to feel good?
Yeah.
Do I want to work hard? There's a track for everything. So I was like, I couldn't decide which one to put on the episode. I was like, well, they're short enough. Just play them both. They deserve to get some play.
That might have been around the time that we got a tip that this one little arcade in a mall way up in the mountains of Pennsylvania in Wilkes-Barre had Guitar Freak's 4th mix. And so you, me, and that arcade guy, Tall Matt. Remember Tall Matt?
Yeah, he actually showed up on my list recently, too. Like, he's back in action.
Yeah, no, I ran into him at a coffee shop. It was weird. And we didn't know what to say to each other. And we all got in the car. We drove for hours, just driving, elevation, like getting higher and higher. It's a beautiful drive. But we got up there just to play in that arcade all day long, playing Guitar Freaks in DDR. I think it was DDR Max 2. And
I love Max 2 so much.
Until they closed the arcade, and then we drove all the way back home. I think Tall Matt was only like, 17 at the time? 16?
Mm-hmm. But he was about as tall as I was.
Dude, man, I saw him again. I didn't recognize him right away because he was graying, and we're all getting a little older, and I don't want to talk about it. But he was still. I forgot. I was like, oh my god, that's right. He is Tall Matt because he's a giant. He is a giant. He's a giant man.
Literal giant.
But I have a really fun memory of that day, because it was just a weird day that we just decided just to get up and do it. I think we all met up on like ddrfreak.com and we were like, let's just go.
Isn't that site still running?
No. There's it's archived, but no one uses it anymore. The scene exists on Discord and Facebook now.
Well, that's good at least. Like the feeling, the community still exists in some form.
Yeah, it's still there. It's split for sure because arcades kind of went away and now they're kind of coming back. So there's more people that play at home than they play in arcades. It feels like anyway. But there's more people starting to play now, so that's a good thing. But that was also Guitar Freaks was it's a guitar game like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, but it only had 3 buttons.
Yeah, but I'm glad they finally got around to fixing that. It just took them forever, because the thing that annoyed me the most about that was, so back when Guitar Freak's 2nd mix had come out on consoles, Red Octane, which is a company that I'm pretty sure doesn't exist anymore.
No, I don't think so.
They released some home version controllers that you could buy to play Guitar Freaks with. Those guitars had 5 buttons, even though the actual game only used 3. So right there, you're like, okay, they're thinking ahead. This thing has more buttons, which means who knows? Maybe they'll actually add more buttons to a future Guitar Freaks game. And then they didn't. And then they didn't. And then they didn't. And then we got Guitar Hero, which had 5 buttons.
Yeah, and then the game, it was but they tried to mimic some of the movements that you would do. Like there was more staircases, and I felt like there was more interesting patterns with the Guitar Hero. And now I feel
very much so.
The Guitar Freaks now, which I think they call Gitadora, is much more than that style, and it's a much more pleasant experience. Yeah,
because if I remember correctly, they finally, when Gitadora hit 5th mix or something, like V5, they finally added additional buttons So now I think that game
long.
has 5 buttons. It took forever. That's what was so bizarre.
That's crazy.
Red Octane had 5 buttons on the controller back on second mix, but the actual franchise didn't do it for a good 10 plus years.
Yeah, I remember I ordered that peripheral from from Red Octane, and like it came in the mail, and it was 5 buttons. I'm like, when am I going to use 5 buttons? Like, why are they there? So, but I think that's still in my closet. People.
Same here.
There's actually another there's a not second hand, but there's like another sub culture of Guitar Freaks players that play a hacked version of Guitar Freaks that you can do custom songs on. And they play crazy hard stuff. And so there's actually a second market or an aftermarket for Guitar Freaks and Rock Band guitars, especially the Red Octane ones. Apparently they're really popular.
I wonder if I even still have my Red Octane. I know I have an official Konami one that I bought, but I actually broke out the PS2 today with the intent being to play some Masterpiece Gold. Just because I started getting nostalgic for the game. I was like, I should just play that after the episode's over. Either that or do Ring Fit Adventure. I haven't decided, but one of those are going to happen tonight.
Yeah. A friend of the show, Mitchell Wong, said that there are, or maybe it was it them? It might have been somebody else on Twitter, but someone said that there's like a rhythm game kind of mode in Ring Fit Adventure. They have like mini games that are all rhythm based, and they're really good.
Yeah, I haven't added it yet, but it was recently done by, they announced it on like a recent Nintendo Mini Direct. There's like a rhythm mode where it's pretty much all the a lot of the poses and motions you would do with normal Ring Fit. Like you squeeze the ring, you stretch the ring, you squat. You have to get the ring kind of leveled with the notes on the screen or something like that. And I've been meaning to try that. But the downside to that is that it needs more songs. And there's like 16, they said. That thing should get like 50 songs.
Oh,
easy.
Totally. Yeah, they should.
Because that would be my workout.
Yeah, because you love playing rhythm games anyway for your exercise, so that would be perfect.
Yeah, like someone needs to get that. Like the Ring Fit setup is just screaming to have a rhythm game done with it that's extensive.
Well, you know what also is great exercise?
This next track
is tennis.
This next track, isn't it?
This next track.
It's totally this next track.
It's tennis. It's tennis with none other than superstar tennis player Andre Agassi. Andre Agassi, tennis for the Super Nintendo.
I think you're over-exaggerating. I don't know if he's that much of a superstar.
Oh, he is. Believe you me, and believe everybody else listening to this show.
He's a subpar, adequate star.
In the 80s and the 90s, that man was everything. No, he had his own video game. So this is Andre Agassi Tennis for the Super Nintendo, composed by Mark Miller. This is the standings theme. So this is, I guess, your ranking in the game. It's a funky soundtrack. I think you're going to enjoy this one. This is the standings theme. It's a short one. I picked a short one for now. From Andre Agassi, Tennis for the Super Nintendo. It's just, I love, like, all the music in this game has this really, like, funky beat. It reminds me of the Jurassic Park music, the Jurassic Park game music. It's all, like, kind of dunk, 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 dunk. But yeah, I mean, Andre Agassi was huge, you know, like, all right, here we go. He was born in 1970. I'm gonna give you some Andre Agassi facts. Okay, are you ready for this?
Was he raised in the streets?
No, he was definitely not. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah. So, when he first played the senior event Wimbledon, he was only 17 years old. In 1997, he married Brooke Shields.
There's an achievement.
Yeah. But then
I gotta say though,
then they broke up and they were divorced very quickly afterwards. He is with Steffi Graf right now.
Side note about that, by the way, I just thought about that. So a lot of times people will say, at the young age of such and such, this person pulled this off. Now, when it comes to something like say college, this person got a master's degree at the age of 17 years old. that's amazing. All right. When a person's like, he kicked the butt at sports at 17 years old, I have mixed feelings about that. Because on one hand, I do agree that experience comes with age. If you played a lot, you pick up some tricks and such. But it's also true that if a 17-year-old is fit, he is likely going to be in much better shape than a 35-year-old who is also fit.
I feel like you're talking about there's like a threshold of like performance, but a lot of times, man, that experience can go way further than the age.
It's like this picture of 17-year-old like on the court with his rack, like wham, 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 and you got this like 40-year-old pro's like, I can't keep up with this kid.
I don't think it's
what is he doing?
I like the idea of like this kid. He's like, I'm gonna play the senior event, and like, are you sure? They're all like in their 50s. Like, yeah, I'm gonna whip their butts.
Pretty much.
I'm Andre Agassi. I'm Andre Agassi. I'm gonna win.
I'm Andre.
Oh, here we go. This I just pulled up a webpage of like trivia for Andre Agassi. This is my favorite one. It is, what is Andre's brother's name? The answer is Phil. He's sometimes a spectator at his matches. I'm like, he's sometimes.
He doesn't always show up. I mean, if Andre's not buying the ticket, why the heck is Phil showing up?
Yeah, there's a story there, I'm sure.
The story is he ain't rich. Andre Agassi's getting paid to fly to these countries, and Phil's just like, can I borrow $50? I almost have enough for a plane ticket. If you could just spot me the cash, I seriously, I'll come check out your show. I'll pay you back.
I mean, do you think? I mean, like, he got his video game came out. I think he peaked, right? Like that was it. He's just like, I got a Nintendo game. I can retire. I'm done. I can just collect on that. Yeah.
Well, what you don't know is that there actually is a game called Phil Agassi Spectator.
You just watch him play.
At the right time, the person will come down and say, like, hot dogs! You gotta push the button to get your hands like, I want a hot dog! But if you don't press the button in time, Phil's gonna starve.
Like especially in these sports games, there's these there's like spectator mode, or you can watch like an exhibition match to see like the computer play against the computer. That's just called Phil Agassi mode. You can just watch
it'd be perfect. Like there's a moment where you have to just kind of know that something bad's about to happen, like over across the seat, like time to move seats, and if you don't move in time, a fight breaks out and you get caught up in it. But if you move in time, you can watch the fight and then watch the cops drag them out, and you can't get dragged into it.
There's a button to make noise, and if you let it go, it makes noise. So you have to keep it held. Otherwise, like when you're watching your brother like serve and like return the ball and whatever you do in tennis, like you have to like not make noise and mess them up.
But you can upgrade to a vuvuzela.
You upgrade. Yeah, you have to hold down L and R at the same time to make the vuvuzela noise.
But if you hold it down too long, the fight will come to you, and you'll get dragged out of the stadium.
This game sounds like way more fun.
Phil Agassi, man, I'm in.
Phil Agassi's spectator tennis.
Let's get Ubisoft on it.
Oh,
they got this.
They're gonna be all over it. This is a Wolf Team game, man. Yeah.
Whoever does it, I'm in. I want to play it.
Oh, this is good. All right, so what's your? I think it's your last track.
It is, sir.
You double dipped on that, Guitar Freaks.
That's right. I cheated the system, and I do it again. This track comes from a game that I own, but I've actually never played. Shocker, I know. The game is called Beach Spikers.
Yeah.
It's on the GameCube and also on the arcade, apparently. I did not remember.
Yeah, this is a port of the arcade game. It came on the Naomi 2 arcade board.
Oh, slick.
Yeah.
The track is titled Incandescence Game, composed by Tatsuoshi, Narita, Sachio, Ogawa, Shinichi, Goto, Fumio, Ito, and Megumi Takano.
Yeah, that's essentially like the Sega sound team at the time. We don't know who. No one was specifically credited for any of the tracks. So
it could have been any of them. Could have even been you.
All of them. He's playing a different instrument.
Could even be you. Welcome back. You are listening to Incandescence game from the game Beach Spikers for the Gamecube and Sega Arcade, composed by potentially one of many or many. Tatsuoshi Narita, Sachio Ogawa, Shinichi Goto, Fumio Ito, and Megumi Takano. I love this track so much. Yeah. I've listened to it multiple times. I've never played the game, but for some reason my brain said beach volleyball is a fantastic, fun time outside. Get some sun, get sunburned, but not too sunburned. But if you do get too sunburned, make sure you get some medication to put on your skin and heal up quickly kind of game.
Oh, so, man. Hanging out on the beach in the summertime is like...
With Mr. Cooper.
It's like one of my favorite things, but like volleyball on the beach is like super cool. And this track is like super fun time, summertime. It's good. It's good. This is a Purnell track, man. It's just so happy and guitar-y.
Yes. I actually wonder where... I'm guessing it probably plays during an actual match.
I think so, yeah.
Something I like about Sega sports games is that they actually do play music during the games.
And music like this, too. It's a little bit like the tennis one, Virtua Tennis.
Yep. And that was why I liked Virtua Tennis. Like, wait, this music is amazing. Let's have another match.
It got me thinking. So this game, it's a volleyball game, but it definitely marketed itself with the 3D ladies in the game. And so it got me thinking, when did this game come out? And when did Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball come out?
I'm almost positive DOA Extreme came out after this.
It did. It came out years later. So this is like the proto DOA volleyball game.
Yeah, but this is like traditional. Like the characters are like, they are totally like, they're dressed in like traditional, like actual volleyball uniforms. Like it's to the letter standard.
I mean, yeah.
Whereas DOA is like,
they're in bikinis, but it's not like Dead or Alive bikinis. They're like, yeah, they're right. They're like in like sports gear, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, the DOA is like, so have you ever played volleyball wearing a Twizzler? We got that. Like, okay. Well, I had a friend back in the day who was obsessed with DOA volleyball, and for the life of me, I could not fathom why. I'm like, look, I get it. I get why this is designed. I know what this is about. But is the actual game even good? And she was trying to convince me that the practice of buying presents and giving it to these characters was a fantastic, fun experience. Like, no. The game is DOA volleyball, but you spend the least amount of time actually playing the sport the game is named after.
No, that's the best. I refer to them probably too much, but there's a Game Grumps series where they play volleyball, and Aaron becomes obsessed with one of the characters and trying to buy her gifts and trying to win her affection, and it's just hilarious. It's so fun. Every time she turns him away, it's just hilarious. It's so funny.
He goes into a sad place.
Oh yeah, because he gets more and more frustrated and more sad that like a video game is not liking him.
Like, what did I do wrong? I thought you liked these flowers.
Yeah, but no, this is a great pick, man. This is a really, really good pick. All of your tracks have been super solid listening today. And
I put a lot of work into it. I was like, gotta bring the heat, bring the thunder.
Oh, so good, man. This is so good. So I'm going to bring it back to something a little bit more chill, something a little more jazzy, something a little more golf.
A little more guava?
Get a little more guava juice in your drink mix. Guava Kool-Aid. I don't know. This is a classic. I mean, if you're into VGM podcasts, then you might know this track. This is a classic tune. This is a game called Harukanaru Augusta New Golf Simulation for the Sega Mega Drive, composed by Yumi Kinoshita, Shigekazu Kamaki, Yusaburo Shimojyo, and Hiroshi Narita. And I think this one is actually Yumi Kinoshita because there's a lot of super jazzy tracks in some of the other games they've produced. And this is background music 2 from the game New Golf Simulation, Harukanaru Augusta. that lick. Right there. Here we go with the golfing.
Yeah.
This is background music 2 from the game. I lost the game. From the game New Golf Simulation Harukanaru Augusta for the Sega Mega Drive, composed by Yumi, Kinoshita, Shigekazu, Kamaki, Yusaburo, Shimojyo, and Hiroshi Narita. And wow, man, this whole track, start to finish, and even on the loop is so clever. I love everything about the song. I love everything about it. Even the bass. It's so chill, and that keyboard solo is so jazzy, but that bass is like someone just like turned their volume way up, and they're like, brr, brr, brr. It's awesome. Oh, it's awesome. This song makes me feel good.
I'm actually surprised you found this, but I'm glad you did because I enjoy it and it makes me want to play it. Is this a game that you mentioned on like the podcast fans recently? I probably obscure video game music.
On that Facebook group, I posted a track from the FM Towns version, definitely from one of the other composers. This is I believe Yumi Kinoshita, because it's just so jazzy, and what's his name? Josh from the old podcast, the VGM Jukebox. Had a karaoke to this song, and it's just so good. You can look it up on SoundCloud. If you look up on SoundCloud.com, VGM Jukebox and New Golf Simulation, I'm sure it'll come right up. It's really awesome. He's got a great voice.
He's like, I'm just curious. Did he just like create like lyrics to these, or did he just wing them all?
No. He would create the lyrics. Like he would listen to them over and over and write lyrics and sing them. I think he did wing some of them, but they definitely had a. Oh my god, what thing? They had a thing.
It took you how long to think? Oh, a thing, right? Those things. Okay.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like this happens every time we record. It's like the first hour, it's fine, and I just start losing it. But yeah, this is just it was like the thing they did. They did karaoke. It was beautiful. I loved it. Keekliff did one to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It was the one that the Twinkle. Yeah, it was 3.
Twinkle
Starlight something. Starlight Zone.
The Starlight Zone was the first game. Okay.
Then there was Sonic 1. I always thought that was
Sonic 1.
Yeah, why would I think it was 3? Anyway, it was beautiful. She actually broke down the track into different parts and created a verse and a chorus, and it was really good. It was really sad, actually. I enjoyed it. So yeah. Every time on my running route outside, as I'm running so much more now, I always run past a golf course that's by Alapocas Park, and I still see people out there hitting the ball around, and I'm like, I think of this music. I'm like, why aren't they listening to this track all day long while they're golfing? You know. So I just want to leave little speakers around the golf course just playing.
I can promise you that if I was into golfing, like real golfing, I would absolutely have a speaker set on a golf cart playing golf BGM music the entire time.
Yeah, I'd have a drink in one hand and be like, yeah, I'm riding the cart around listening to this music.
It would be great. It makes me wonder if they'd be torturing the other people, though, because after the 15th loop on the same hole, they'd be like, stop this crap, Pernell. Like, no.
Now they'd be like, why did you stop? Don't leave the speaker here. We want to listen to it. All right, well,
cheap falls, yes.
cheap falls. All right, well, I'm going to turn the track down, and we're going to get into the part of the show we call the bonus round.
Cheap bonus round today. It's the bonus round. Time to play some jams, because they're great. And I want to play some fantastic beats for the listeners. You're in for such a treat. It's time for music.
I like it when I say, I like to, every week I just announce it, and I just wait for you to do something weird.
It's just fun. I'm like, what am I going to do this episode? What am I going to do this episode?
I used to put in sound effects. I just don't do it anymore because you do the best part. Well, the bonus round is where we play covers and arrangements and remixes on our theme. And Pernell, I'm sure you've got something good for us.
I do. So, fun fact here. A friend of mine did that meme I told you about earlier, the whole 10 things I don't like that every other people like or whatever. And the thing they mentioned was living in the city. I immediately was like, Sonic R living in the city. I just jumped right to that, and I was like, thanks for reminding me of this great track. And he goes, that's number 11. I just laughed harder. Because I'll admit, even when Sonic R first came out, I wasn't too fond of the OST, but it really grew on me. It was something about it that just made it stick, despite the fact that my brain was telling me not to like it. My body
Your brain was telling you not to like it.
Yeah, but my body knew different, I kept moving to it, and I felt great. So while I ultimately did not choose Living in the City, I did choose what ended up, which is actually my favorite track on the OST. I found a cool remix of it that recently got brought out. It's an official remix, too. For Can You Feel the Sunshine? Special remix. And it was done by T and Mariana Lopes. Or Lopez. Or is it Loops?
I think it's I think it's Lopes.
Well, they'll tell us if they hate it. But
they'll let us know, maybe.
T and Mariana Lopes. And featuring Jin Sonoe. Welcome back You just listened to Can You Feel the Sunshine special remix from the game Sonic R, originally from the game Sonic R, sung by T and Mariana Lopez, or performed by, and featuring Jin Sonoe. So we were talking during the break about which we prefer. Like Rob prefers this version to the original.
I like this one a lot more. Like the original is fun. It's fun. Like I'm not really into it, but I think it's fun. I like this song a lot. Whole lot.
I'm just torn. Like I like them both for different reasons, but I just find myself in situations where I'm like, I like the music. Like I like that. I like the pacing of the original one, and just the feeling of it. Like this one is good, but it's not as fast. It's intentionally slowed down a bit, and that may well be the thing that makes me like the original better. So that harmonica is sweet. Yeah,
the harmonica is amazing. That Stevie Wonder solo or whatever they were doing was so good. But yeah, I think because they slowed it down, I like it more. Which kind of makes sense between like like my taste and your taste. Like you like a lot of the faster stuff usually, like the faster boppy stuff. Like, you like to bop to it.
I like to bop.
All right, so my track is a cover from Katamari Damacy. This is the Lonely Rolling Star big band jazz version from the 8-bit big band, and it is crazy good. It's already
from my favorite song in the game, so I'm looking forward to this. Oh yeah,
I mean this is this is a popular song. I mean you can't not like this song, but like it's a huge band with vocals and everything. So this is the Lonely Rolling Star big band jazz version from the 8-bit big band.
ち合わせしようか Lonely Rolling Star 立ち止まらないでね Lonely Rolling Star 思い出してよね Lonely Rolling Star 待ってられないのね Lonely Rolling Star さあ前を向いて行こ
Yes, that was the Lonely Rolling Star big band jazz version from
And a lot of English from me, or Japanglish.
that was from Katamari Damacy, and that was performed and arranged by the 8-bit big band. So good.
Oh my god, that's like Lonely Rolling Star is my favorite song in the game. So I already knew I was in for a treat with that, but holy pickles,
Yeah.
I got moving.
That song already like gives me goosebumps. It's so emotional, and then like the way it's performed and the key change in the middle, and it's just everything. It's just it's so solid. And hearing the melody played by the horn section is just it's a completely different feeling. It's so good. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. I could see you dancing sort of in the darkness there.
In the darkness.
Yeah.
Like, is that an arm or a bat? I don't know.
Yeah, if you're fighting off like a bat in your room. No, Rob, I swear I really like the song. I'm just got a problem with some vermin.
Get out of my house.
Well, for more information on the bonus round part of our show, go to rhythmandpixels.com. We'll have links to everywhere where you can buy the music and support the artists. And now, I mean, there's no better time than to go out and support these artists, especially with artists like the 8-bit big band. They're amazing. And to support these people to keep producing and performing is something else. So please consider doing that.
Yes. Yes, do.
All right, thanks for joining us on episode 22-5 of Rhythm and Pixels. This is our optimism special.
Sunshine optimism line.
Yeah, you had like a name for it in the Facebook chat that we had. It was like smile time or something like that.
It was like Smile Time Optimize or something like that.
Something crazy like that. It was definitely a word that you smashed together.
But it was a good one too, and I loved it. But it should be, here we go, Smile Time Positime. Yes. Sunshine Positime.
Sunshine Positime.
Yeah, let's do it. There it is. That's such a good title. You can't deny the excellence of that.
It's pretty excellent. That'll be the title. But yeah, that's our theme. That's what we want to stick with. We're sticking to our guns because that's what we want. That's what we need.
Until the juicer comes in the mail, then we're moving on to Florida quality orange juice.
Yeah, then it's every episode's about orange juice and grapefruit juice. Anything juicing, actually. If we can get a juice from it, we're going to make a podcast about it. And then eventually this is not going to be a podcast anymore, but it's going to be an infomercial for juicers.
That's right, a juicery special. As I'm holding an orange right now, actually, so there you go.
Rhythm and Pixels with Robin Purnell. Get juiced. Yeah.
How would that topic even work? I don't think there's I can't think of more than one or two games where one of the main components was blending juices. There's very few I know of where that's a primary factor in the game. You blend these juices and that determines what stat buffs you get.
The juice crafting. Oh man, the game was great, but the juice crafting, there could have been more of that. I really enjoyed the juice crafting.
Juice crafting is great, man. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
I'm not knocking it. I'm saying, like, that's just what you do in a game. But I'll say this, our next episode, we have a guest next week, and they would like to be the number one guest on the Rhythm and Pixels. And so they're going to try.
They're bumping those numbers up.
I will say, they picked the craziest topic, which I'm sure
right.
I was like, Purnell's going to be so happy that you picked the weird one.
That's right. I got to say, like, it's a challenge. I want these challenging topic suggestions. Like, not challenging for the sake of challenging, of course, but I want them to be fun. Yeah. But if it's like, hey, I want to hear tracks devoted to this line of logic, like, make it work.
Make it so.
Make it so. Have you ever played this game, Purnell? No. Why would I? I have no idea why I would have ever played this game. But for the purpose of this episode, I know this music exists.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. It should be a lot of fun. We love having him on the show. So it's going to be good. But if you would like to get in contact with us, if you have a crazy topic, if you have track suggestions, or if you just want to say hello, we would like that. Send us an email.
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
And for more information about our show and full track listings from every episode, access to all of our episodes, and all the other fun stuff, go to the website.
rhythmandpixels.com.
It's new and improved, everybody. It looks nice.
It is true. Rob put some elbow grease in that thing.
Well, every episode we do these dumb, weird pictures. I guess they're not dumb, but they're just like really strange pictures of us inside video games. And so it's just the whole page is very focused on the images. So I think that's. I think
it has an air of extra extra personality to it, though.
Yeah, it's definitely us. It's definitely us all over it. So yeah, check that out. Go to youtube.com/rhythmandpixels. We have all of our episodes are there. We also have a 24/7 live stream playing 8-bit and 16-bit classics and deep cuts all day long, every day. And if you'd like to support the show, just tell people about it. Tell your friends, tell your family. I know you're seeing your family a lot right now, and they would love to listen to more video game music.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so, Purnell?
Share the wealth. Share the love.
Share it. Share it with them. You can also support us by going to patreon.com/rhythmandpixels. And by supporting us there, you get access to little prequel episodes every week, right the day before these main episodes come out. You get these little 10-minute, 20-minute snippets of me and Purnell just chatting, talking about stuff and life. And even with our guests, we just chat with them, catch up with them. You also get access to a live-streamed, recorded episode once a month. So you get to hang out with me and Purnell doing the whole stream, the whole show live in front of you. And that's always...
And you can hear me freak out about things like Carlito telling me just now he just beat one of the Guardians. I got to find that Guardian.
I think they're getting that right now.
It's chomping at the bit right now. I was like, I got to do it.
Yes, as soon as we're done, you're hopping on that game, aren't you?
I'm running down there.
Oh, man.
Do it.
Well, anyway, okay. Well, we also like to shout out every one of you at the end of our show. So we'd like to thank That Nick Walker, Mike Myers, Harold Howard, Dave Taylor, Reinhard Zelkova, Andreas Milberg. That came out weird. Dan Loughton, Phantom Jest, Steve Miller, The Autistic Gamer 89, Cameron Werma, Christopher Shenstrom, Bobby Arson from One Up Funk, Wicked Sephiroth, Carlito from the Heroes 3 podcast, Michael Bridgewater from the Forever Sound Version VGM podcast, Brian Pitt, Butsbo, Hammock from the KVGM, the Last Wave VGM podcast, Johan Perez, Bruce Irons of the Mad Gear Band, Ed Wilson, the Prime VGM Minister of the VG Embassy podcast. And their last episode he did with Dan Loughton is fantastic. It was so good. So it was themed. It was very strange. I loved every part of it. So I think we're going to do a collaboration with Dan in the near future. Also like to thank Alexander Proudfoot, Davy Cakes, Das Dude, The Last Rican, Bedroth of the VGM Very Good Music podcast, Kitsurito, Soulless Sanctuary, Mix 6 Master, Damian Beckles, Joe Vassallo, OK Impala, Chris Murray, Chris Steenerson, Alex the Messenger, host of The Messenger Presents, a VGM podcast featuring The Messenger, and David Smith. Thank you all so much of your continued support of our little show, honestly. It's just this little thing that we've just been doing, and I'm glad you enjoy it.
I concur. We just have a lot of fun recording it. and talking about it. And honestly, when episodes release and people are like, hey, listen to your episode today. It was great. Here's some weird things about it. I honestly genuinely just kind of get a kick out of like having those conversations. Like, oh yeah, pick some great tracks this episode. Or Rob kicked your butt on this wax track. I'm like, don't you say that to me.
I legitimately thought you said, hey, who let the dogs out?
Woof, woof.
Hey. Oh,
dogs.
I know.
Oh, dogs.
So yeah, eventually maybe we'll have a phone number you can call and leave a voicemail, but that sounds like a bad idea.
God, no, that would be scary as crap. I'm okay with not doing that. It's always leave a message and come through their email address. Like you can always like record your voice and attach it to an email.
Well, leave us some positivity in our email box. That would be really nice. Our next live.
Pernell, I'm going to come to your house next week and eat all your peanut butter.
Our next live stream show is going to be on April 30th. And that's a Thursday, April 30th, if everything works out correctly. And the theme is going to be positive tracks.
Positive vibes.
All about vibes. It's good vibes. Give us some good vibes is what we need on the show.
That's right.
All right, man. That's all I've got. I know Pernell is waiting to get back on the La Mulana, too.
That's right. I'm chomping. He's telling me, he's like, I beat Anu. It's on. I'm like, no, I want to fight Anu. She has such a great OST track that plays during that fight, too. It's so good.
Ooh.
It's going to be on the show at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to hear. We're going to start hearing. These tracks are going to start trickling into our show over the next few weeks.
It's my next SMT. Like every track from La Mulana has to show up on the show.
It's your Rystar. All right, well,
that's right.
Thanks for listening to Rhythm and Pixels. My name's Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
Have a great night.
Have a good evening. And remember, I don't know, it's hard to even come up with one for this one because my thought was like a little on the weird side. It's thought of, if you have family in your home with you, cherish that family, interact with them as much as you can, take it back to some simpler times, get some board games out, get some card games out. Get some movies, I don't know, random stuff. Just interact. Use the time and the company that you've got. Use it wisely. However, with that said, if you're like me, you're in the house by yourself, don't let that be a thing to stop you from interacting with your friends and socializing. Get that social media out there. Get that Marco Polo app. Get that Zoom app. So many apps. So many ways to connect. If you want to communicate with folks, there is no reason why you can't. So don't let yourself be confined to your space. Get out there and be chatty, man. Lady, friend, person, Nutter Butter, Coca-Cola, Sprite, all those things. Get out there.
I think you're hungry too.
Oh, I have a Nutter Butter, a Coke, and a freaking water beverage on the desk right now.
There you go. Don't drop it. Don't drop it this time.
Oh, they're empty now.
Okay.
Oh, I ain't messing around. I had that experience. It happened.